I said, well, don't ever feel like I'm forcing you to do anything. I said, you ain't got to go, you ain't got to be with me.
Flawed, beautiful creatures. We're all flawed, beautiful people. We're all flawed, beautiful creatures.
Like, that was me. I'm one of them people that jams and I need to learn to stop. But I was just like, you ain't got to go. I ain't forcing you to do nothing. You act like you wanted to go. When I got back from my last, cruise, you was talking about how, oh, we got to take you the next time. So that's what I did. And all of a sudden now you don't want to go. So what's up? Like, if you ain't want to go, then you shouldn't have did that. But don't sit here and act like, I told you the wrong day. Now all of a sudden you're upset. Like, and we got into it or whatever like that. He was just like, shut up, just shut up. And I was like, don't tell me to shut up, because you mad. Like, that's on you. Like I said, if you ain't want to go, then you should have been honest about that. And I just felt like in my head that he just did not want to go. And he was just like, because he had been talking about it anyway and how we weren't on good terms, and talking about how he didn't think we were going to be together for the trip anyway. And so I was just like, you don't know that. I was like, why you being negative? You claim you want to be with me, but if you want to be with me, then why talk negatively about it? If you don't want to be with me, then you just don't want to be with me. And so, sure enough, not too long after that, we ended up breaking up. I remember when we broke up, I was just like, you don't want to be with me. You just don't want to be with me. You never wanted to be with me. You don't really love me, this, that, and the other. And I was like, you been knowing this. You been had feelings changes or whatever like that. You should have told me. I told you plenty of times if you didn't want to be with me, you should have said that. Like, you should have said that. And I just felt like he had been leading me on for the ending part of our relationship. And I got so angry because I was just like, you supposed to be the person I'm supposed to be with for the rest of my life. And all of a sudden, you just give up. Like, who just gives up on somebody they love? You don't do that. And so I was so heartbroken. I was so upset. But I remember I did not cry for 2 days. I didn't cry for 2 days. Nobody knew. And then one day I just came home from work. And I got in my bed. And I screamed. And I screamed. And just so happened my sister came home from her lunch break that day. And she heard me. She came in my room. She's like, what's wrong? I told her we had broken up. And she's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was actually the second time we had broken up, because the first time we broke up, it was like right before The Lion King came out, and we had been planning to go see The Lion King together, and we worked together then, but I still actually, still wanted to go with him, because he said that he wanted to be friends, and so we were trying this friend things, because the first time I was just like, all right, you want to break up, cool, whatever, because you acting funny anyway, whatever. And so we got back together, and we broke up and went to go see The Lion King anyway. And at that particular time, my sister was here. My stepsister, that's Evelyn Jackson. And we went to the movies, and being that she was in the car, by this time I had my own car, being that she was in the car first, I was just like, she started in the front seat, and so he got upset because he had to sit in the back seat, and he just wasn't used to me treating him like that. Like I said, you want to be friends, then it wasn't no holding hands, it wasn't no hugging, it wasn't that type of party no more. This is what you want, then I'm gonna give you what you want. This is what it feels like. And so like, you could tell that he couldn't really enjoy the movie because he was like, the behavior, it wasn't the same. It wasn't what he was used to. And so, like, he was just like, he didn't like it or whatever like that. And I was like, well, this is what you saying you want. And so he was just like, that's not what I meant. And so we ended up getting back together. But like I said, we actually broke up a couple weeks after that. And, like, we really broke up that time. The first time we broke up, I wasn't emotional because I was just like, okay, but I don't know if the second time I just really realized that it was over, and it hurt. And I remember after that, it was horrible having to sit there and see him every day, and him not showing no emotion at all, and acting like everything was okay, and me barely being able to hold it together, and just being so hurt and so emotional, and just like, feeling played, feeling like he had played with my emotions for the last, couple of weeks before that point. Like I was just like, you've been turned off. I've been, telling you, if this ain't what you want, then you need to tell me. Then you need to let me know. Like, why would you let me get to this point before you say that you don't want to be together, this and the other, You're making it seem like I'm just such a horrible person. Or that's what I felt anyway. I just remember just going through a deep depression from the time that we broke up until the end of the year. Or until the beginning of December, I'll say. And keep in mind, my birthday is at the end of the year, and so I feel like I pulled it together, for my birthday, and I was actually able to enjoy my birthday. But for the last 4 months of last year, it was really hard, because I was just like, this is the person that I was supposed to be with, and I was just mad at God, because I was like, Jesus, I asked you, I begged you, I prayed, and I was just like, I asked you, if this wasn't the person that I wasn't supposed to be with for the rest of my life, then to not let me fall in love with him. And I remember just being so upset with God, and just being like, I want to talk to you. I couldn't even pray for myself for the longest. And I just found myself in a really dark place. I remember I would just like get up in the middle of the night, because I was just trying to figure it out on my own, And at one point in time, we just completely stopped talking. I ended up making him block me. And so we just completely stopped talking. And I remember I would get up in the middle of the night, and I would just get in my car in a t-shirt and my underwear with my shoes on. And I would just get up and just go get in my car and just drive to the park and cry and cry and cry and ask why. And just be so sad and hurt. It affected me so bad, to the point to where I was lacking in schoolwork. I increased drinking because I didn't want to feel sad. So I would go out, and I wouldn't drink to the point to where I'd be sloppy drunk, but I'd drink to the point to where I knew I would be like, because when I get drunk, I'm not one of those people who gets emotional. And so I would drink until I felt like I wasn't emotional anymore, and I'd be all right. And I was just so hurt, because I couldn't figure out why it was ending like this. And I remember he ended up texting me for my birthday and being like, happy birthday or whatever. But it was just different because I wasn't spending my birthday with him. And I felt like we were always together. We went from always being together to barely even talking. We had gotten to it a couple of times at work, actually, but the manager just never said anything, even if they saw it. But I remember just being so mad and so angry at first. And then all of a sudden, I was just like, I'm tired of being mad, I'm tired of being angry. But at the time, I still wasn't talking to God. And it was just like the roles reversed right around the last part of last year. And so, like, once we finally did start back talking, I want to say maybe we had stopped talking completely for about maybe 2 months, and then the last 2 months we would talk off and on. Cause like I said, by the time my birthday came around, he was texting me. Oh, well, he texted me happy birthday, and so like we would text a little bit, but not really. And so it seemed like the roles were starting to reverse to where I was the one that wasn't as mad anymore at work, but it was him, because I guess he felt like I was gonna tell somebody like how bad of a person he was. And I think that was another thing, like he thought that I was just talking bad about him to people, or just saying that he was such a horrible person, when in reality I was doing the exact opposite. He was starting to get mad, you could see that, and even though we were still talking, but by this point we were talking a little bit, but it came to the point to where we actually, started talking, and he was saying that, I just kept, because I kept saying, I was just like, you, not only did you take my boyfriend away from me, but you took my best friend away from me. You were the person that I confided in, and when I felt like I had nobody, it was you, and you took that away from me. And so we came to the agreement that we at least still want to be friends. We at least still want to be cordial, for the sake of work, especially. And so we started back talking, and we were talking maybe consistently for about a week, and this was right at the beginning of December, and I was finishing my exams after such a suckish semester, and we were talking and we were texting, and I was like, let's figure this out or whatever like that. And so every time we would talk, even prior to this, after the breakup, he'd be like, you could tell like he wanted to talk, but then again he was just like, it's like, this ain't gonna work or whatever like that. And I'd just be like, if you really want it to work, then why would you be so negative about it, Or he would always bring up the mutual friend and how it was just always an issue when I was always around her, and I never understood, like, what's the point of you being so upset, like. And so we were talking, and I remember the week of exams, I had already finished my exams, but I want to say that Thursday I ended up going out with a friend, and we went out, and I got a little drunk, and he was texting me. He was like, just come over my house. He was like, you can come over here. We had already been talking, and I was, we had been texting, being nasty or whatever like that, and he was like, just come over here, because it's cops on your side of town anyway. You don't need to be driving over there. You're already drunk. And so, like, I ended up going to his house after we left, and we actually had sex. And I was just like, in my head, I was like, I hope this ain't what it's coming to. I was like, because if it does, I'm not going to do nothing but begin to lose feelings for you because of the soul tie that I had gone through. And I knew that. I was like, if this is what we're going to do, then it's not only am I going to lose feelings for you, but I'm not going to want to be friends with you either. Like, and I knew that, but I didn't tell him that. I didn't have a chance to tell him that. Because, just so happened the next day, he was like, this isn't right. We can't be doing this. I don't want, that's not right. And I was like, yeah, I understand or whatever like that, It really wasn't what I wanted anyway. It just so happened that I was drunk. And in that moment, that's what I wanted, so that's what I did. And so, like I said, being that from my past, like, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have a sexual relationship with him. And he was like, we can't do that. This ain't right, or whatever like that. And I was like, you know what, that's fine, if you don't want to do that, then okay, cool. We just act like it never happened. And that was the end of that. And so then later that day, my friends were hanging out or whatever like that. And so, or you wanted to hang out. And so I texted and I was asking, I was like, hey, you want to hang out? Such and such wants you to come around. You know, whatever like that. And he was like, I don't think so. I just got off of work and I said, you know what, that's fine with him. And so when I got an attitude, he was like, you single, you can do whatever you want to do. You ain't gotta, I ain't got to be everywhere with you. And just keep in mind, like I said, we had stopped talking. So at this point, I was used to you not being everywhere with me. And so when he said that, I was like, all right, so you going too far, you about to piss me off. You ain't even had to say that, you know, whatever like that. We been stopped hanging around each other like that. So it's not me trying to involve you in everything. You say you want to be friends, so this is me asking you, do you want to go hang out with some friends? It's not like it's just me or whatever. And so we ended up getting into it, and I was just like, I said, when you asked me to come over your house, I came over your house. When one time I asked you to just come hang out with friends, you can't even do that. And I was just like, you making me feel like the dude that I had the soul tie with. And so when I said that, he blew up, and he got us, and he was like, I can't believe you would compare me to him, and you know, I would never have sex with you, you know, to manipulate your feelings, because that's exactly what such and such did or whatever like that. He was like, ain't no way you just did that. And so we ended up getting into it, and we ended up getting into it about the other friend, and we just got into it real bad. And so I remember he was like, this why it ain't gonna work or whatever like that. And so I remember I had calmed down because I had cried a little bit because it kind of hurt my feelings again, you know. And of course, you know, I was still trying to process the breakup, and so it was difficult. And so I like calmed down, and I ended up like sending him this message, you know, and basically saying that, look, it's like, if you really want to be friends, then all right. But I said, this isn't a normal friendship. There are things that we have to get over, you know. We can't just be a whoop-to-do and just forget about the past. And I was like, both of us are still obviously hurt. And I was just like, and I'm pretty sure you want some kind of connection, because if you didn't, you wouldn't react the way you did. And you know how I feel about you. And I was like, it's a process. It's going to be a different process. And I said, so if you want to do that, then that's fine. But if you don't, then that's fine too. And so I sent that on a Friday night. And by Sunday night, I had realized that he had read my message, and he didn't reply. And he very well could have just read the message, but the fact that I see he had read the message, I said, you know what, that tells me all I need to know. I said, silence is enough for me, and so I ended up blocking him. And like I said, keep in mind, this is December. His birthday is in December as well. I ended up unblocking him on his birthday just to tell him happy birthday, to return the favor like he had done me. And I left him unblocked because I just wanted to make sure that he got his message. And at this time we were texting on Messenger, so I knew that if I blocked him again, that he wouldn't get the happy birthday message. And I just wanted him to get his happy birthday message, or at least that's what I was telling myself. He was like, thank you, or whatever like that. I just like, this just that, you know, I had come to the point where I was like, you know what, I'll just kill it with kindness, because obviously he's in the stage to where he wants to be mad and angry, and I don't want to go back to that stage anymore. So New Year's came around, and so when New Year's came around, well, New Year's Eve came around, I had decided that I wanted to go out with this particular friend that he did not like me hanging around. And we went out together, and we both ended up getting, you know, a little drunk. And I'm not sure if she was more drunk than I was, and I what it was. But before we went out, I was kind of getting irritated because, like, we were supposed to go out at a certain time. We didn't go out at that time, and I'm getting hungry, and I'm like, hey, you know, or whatever like that. And she was doing other stuff. But we ended up going on the square, and we went to the square in her car because, you know, we was just like, hey, might as well take one car. And so we ended up going to the square in her car. And so an incident happened that kind of upset her. And like I said, it is time. By the time we get ready to leave the square is after 12 o'clock, of course, so it's New Year's now. And we are both a little drunk. So I'm like, let's go to IHOP. Let's go get something to eat, And let's go, And she's like, I want to do such and such. And I was like, okay, we can do that after we get something to eat. After we get something to eat, we can sober up a little bit. And then maybe you'll be, a little bit more, sober. You won't want to do what you were doing, because what she was trying to do was just, we shouldn't have been doing. She's the person that's driving. And we end up doing what she wants to do anyway. And so when we do what she wants to do, it results in her being mad. We were sitting there, and of course, as she got upset, I'm like, hey, do I need to put on my shoe? What I need to do? In the process of her being upset, she looks at me, she tells me, she said, I got to tell you something, but you can't say nothing to nobody. And so I'm like, what you finna tell me? And so then she proceeds to tell me that my ex had been having sex with his ex. And so when she told me that, at first I was just like, dang. And I got real quiet, and I was like, look, I just got to pee. And so, it's funny because I was drunk, and I had to pee. When you're drunk, you got to pee. It's hard to hold it. And so, it wasn't until after I used the bathroom that I actually got pissed off. And I was told her, and I said, take me to my car. Because at this point, I'm about to pull up on him. And at this point, I'm calling him, and he not answering the phone. And somebody to answer the phone and explain to me what the F been going on. Because you're not going to sit here and tell me no mess like that and expect me not to say that, one. And two, you're not going to sit here. What really pissed me off was the fact that, one, you know exactly what I just went through. You know exactly what I just went through before I was with you, and you just put me through the same thing. That is the headspace that I was in. You just did the same exact thing, and I told you what I went through before I was with you. So one, that was what I was thinking, and I was hurt, and I was pissed off, because who does that? Why would you do that? I trusted you with everything, and you do that. You of all people, why would you do that? And two, you've been having sex with this girl, and you had sex with me. And so now you done put my health in jeopardy. You done put my health in jeopardy because you sleeping with her and she's sleeping with other people. Once again, why would you do that? And at that point, he didn't have to tell me that he was having sex with her, because that ain't really none of my business before that. But after you had sex with me, then if you cared, you would have said something. The only thing you said was, we shouldn't be doing this. And then a couple of weeks after that, you sent me shaking my head. And when I said what, you said nothing at all. Now, one time, did you tell me that you were still having sex with this girl that you claimed that you hated so much, that did you so wrong? And I could not understand for the life of me, why would you do that to me over her? The person that you claimed that you could not stand, that she did you so wrong and sent you into a depression. Why would you do that to me over her? The person I would never do to him. And I wasn't a perfect girlfriend, but I never cheated. I never talked about him like a dog. I never lied to him. I never hurt him like that. And when we get into it, the only thing he could ever say was, I don't listen, I don't understand. But I was the one that was there for him when he was in his lowest. So why would you turn around and do that to me? The person that has been here for you. And to find out all of this after I had gone through this depression was more than enough. And I felt like I had been heartbroken all over again. I'm sitting there rationalizing with her, and she ended up taking me to my house. And so when she takes me to my house, I call my best friend. I'm like, Hannah, come get me now. Hannah is an hour and a half away. And she said, I'm coming, Chanel, I'm coming, I'm coming. I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. And as this friend is trying to rationalize with me, I get out the car, and y'all, I stay off of Highway 6, okay? I stay off of Highway 6. In a matter of not even 5 minutes, y'all. And I ain't never walked this fast in my life. And I wasn't running, because your girl don't run. Your girl does not run. But baby, I walked that day. I had came out of my shoes, and I ain't have on nothing but socks, y'all. And I barely had on a real top like that, for real. And so, I was walking, y'all. I walked as fast as I could. And in my drunkenness, nobody knew where I was going, but I knew where I was going. Because I remember before them telling me where she stayed. And so in my head, I was walking to her house because somebody finna answer my questions. And so, like I said, in a matter of 3 minutes, I walked down my hill and across the highway. It's a busy highway, but at this time it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And on the other side of the highway, there's a dealership. And like I said, in less than 2-3 minutes, I done made it across the highway in the dealership parking lot. And that is when the friend pulls up, and she's trying to rationalize with me, and she's like, get in the car, and I'm like, I need to walk, leave me alone. I need to walk it off, leave me alone. And by this time, my best friend has called my sister. My sister has gotten up, and she's driving to come find us. And when my sister pulls up on the scene, she sees us, and she's like,